Hi and welcome everyone, it's Lavender Sky Panther with you on Tuesday, October 1st, 2024 for a fun little card reading today. Once again outside and nature inspired, as you'll see evidenced with the background here. It is going to be a pick a card or select a group, however you want to say it. There will be 3 groups. However, I just want to say on this one, the overall, all 3 groups can also be read collectively, or messages received, and I am probably going to cross-reference and jump across all 3 groups, just if that helps you, make up your mind on what you want to pick. Like I always say, feel free to pick 1, 2, or all 3 of the groups, however you like, or just listen to the intro, whatever floats your boat. Pun absolutely intended, with a Viking longboat in the background. So I'm just going to get into it then. We have, I was inspired for the little backdrop today with beautiful trees and all the colors, kind of inspired by my recent trip out to the Everglades. They were celebrating an American Indian or Native Indian or Indigenous or First People or just people, however you want to call it, day. And, it just reminds me, I can't help it, of the 4 directions and then the 4 elements, plus the 5th being Aether. So this, and I did post a YouTube video shorts about my airboat ride out there in the River of Grass, the Everglades. So anyway, I know it's a Viking boat, but it's all I got to kind of represent the dugout canoe vibe at the Everglades, historic Everglades. So anyway, let's get into it. So the little backdrop here is intended to represent the 4 elements. So we have the Caribbean calcite for the water. I think that's orange calcite. I don't think that's carnelian. That's orange calcite, I believe, and then red carnelian there next to it. We have selenite and some girasol to represent the air. Obviously, this is fire with the candle as well. And then we have the grounding energies or earth energies of the black tourmaline in the background, jade, and we've got like some type of shell. And then we've got peacock ore, which kind of highlights, I think, a little bit of the water, a little bit of the earth, some really nice things swirling around in there with the color and the metals, the metallic aspect of the ground. Anyway, that's the little collection that wanted to pop out. So instead of showing you the back of the card, to select your group with some little token on it, I'm just going to ask you to kind of look at this setting here and just see which stone or crystal or whatever's on there pops out to you. And I'm going to go ahead and just take a crystal right now and put it with each of the 3 groupings, and then we'll get into the reading. So I will let you know which ones you have to choose from. Actually, yeah, I'll just tell you. So this time you just have to listen, and in the hearing of it, choose which crystal you would like to go for, and that will be your pile. So the group 1 is going to be the selenite, the white color. Group 2 is going to be that beautiful blue with white swirls, Caribbean calcite, and group 3 is going to be the shell and the orange calcite, kind of representing the fire there and water at once. So go ahead. We've got also by color, white, blue, or red, orange. All right. So hopefully you've made your selection, and we're just going to get into it then. Oh, before I do, just to let you know, if anyone's curious, the incense burning is rosemary mint, and I also have some burning on the ground on an outdoor burnstick that I like to do again as a lovely mosquito deterrent, because I am based here in Miami, Florida, and very much need it when I'm outdoors. So that is that has lavender, pennyroyal, and citronella in it. That's burning near me on the ground. Okay, so let's hop into this. Now I am going to just kind of do it in clusters, and again I've had to flip all of the cards over. Actually, just show you the overall where we're headed. That's actually group 1 to the left, and group 2 in the center, and group 3 to the right. So let's get into it with group 1. Let's see, let me move this out of the way. Okay, so the first card, I'm going to show you overall cards. It's a cluster of 4, and you have number 18 or number 9, step away from the crowd. And we have a bunch of sheep, all following in one direction, obviously, and we've got not this sheep, it's moving in the opposite direction, and the sheep stands alone instead of the cheese stands alone. In the little song, children's song, we got the sheep stands alone. Then we have this card, obviously with a kangaroo, and this is courage. You are being tested. Have faith and stand in your truth, which is kind of funny because it's hopping, but we know what they mean. Then we have stay optimistic. And I'll be putting the names and crediting the authors and illustrators in the description area below after we get through all of this. Okay, so I got a beautiful picturesque card here with a mermaid, and actually it says your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. Okay, how often, do we hear that? It's really a test of patience, right? We do have in the card above saying, you are being tested. Well, nothing tests you more in my book than being tested with that P word of patience. Because it's always just right around the corner, isn't it? Or it's always just next year when people say, it's your year, right? And then a decade later, you're like, what is going on? It hasn't been yet, right? Doesn't feel like it. So we'll see where this whole reading is going after we look at all the cards. All right, so then we've got another, this is beautiful. These are like, what do you call it? Wood cut block printing effect, or linoleum block. I'm not sure what they use, but it's called Australian Wildflower reading cards. So I think all of these are flowers from Australia. And this says turkey bush inspiration. I do just want to jump across. This is one of my little examples of jumping across all piles. When I was pulling these cards, I was laughing because there's tons of different flowers, all different names, but we got the ones that all end in bush. So we got a turkey bush inspiration, we've got cattle bush persistence, and then we have emu bush partnership. So I thought that was pretty funny. All of the bush, flower plants, whatever, that have bush in them. All right, that was just a little aside. So let's look at this cluster of 4. I don't want to go too deep on this reading. It's just something to, hopefully there's a color, a number, a turn of phrase, a sentiment or feeling coming through this reading that just inspires you or uplifts you in some way today. In any case, just makes you feel good today, or at least happier, or a little bit more pep in your step after this reading than when you came here, that type of thing. So stepping away from the crowd. Yeah, we have all these. I can't help but notice on these 3 cards that we have predominantly a solitary figure. So the sheep almost wants to be on this card because it's standing, standing in its truth, I feel. And the kangaroo seems to just be, hopping along, kind of happy-go-lucky, carefree. Oh, sorry about the camera work. I thought it was on the cards. Kind of leaping along. But I would say that with courage and faith, this one, instead of so much standing in your truth, again, I kind of want to mix the messages and jump across the cards. Standing in your truth over here, and this one more is, though, having faith, taking that leap of faith. Obviously, it's probably the imagery they were going for. And I like the fact that it's kind of, how they say, like, look before you leap, or, so like look both ways. In other words, like before you cross the street. This one's just like, no, man, I am just, I'm just marching to my own drummer here, and I'm just leaping wherever I darn well please, right? And with a smile on my face, I am free, liberated, and I'm not going to be looking all around. I'm just going to be me and do my thing. And then down here we have a solitary figure. Stay optimistic. Sorry about the shadows. It's saying, yeah, your dream is coming. Dreams are coming true. Don't quit. Right before. So we have another solitary figure, and this one seems somewhat hesitant. So we've got empowerment up on this card, standing in the truth, not caring what everyone else is doing, like giving a flying what, who cares what they're all doing. I'm me, I'm owning it, and like, damn it, like, I dare you, like, come at me, bro, I'm ready for you. Totally confident. And then this one is just like oblivious, like, what do you call it? Not airheaded, what do you call it? Oh gosh, there's an expression, like you got your head in the clouds, I'll think of it later. But anyway, you got your head in the clouds, you're not, grounded, you're not looking at the ground because you can, pretty much fly. And again, you don't care what's going on around you. This one, though, the solitary figure very much cares about what's going on. See, she's kind of hiding behind the rock to protect her a bit, because we've got another solitary figure over here. And so it's kind of like, she is holding back, maybe doesn't want to reveal her true gifts, as the little lore of the mer people, if they come out of the water and their legs dry off, their tail dries off, then they can have legs and then walk. And it's like, no, she's not ready to reveal that kind of those hidden talents, and she's kind of just waiting and waiting and holding. But at the same time, if she never makes that move, there's a lot that can be lost, things that she could discover, because she does have the ability to be on land as well, but she's just holding back and kind of missing out if she waits too long. So is one way to look at it. But they're saying don't quit right before the miracle occurs. So it's saying in that moment, she's like waiting. Maybe she's about to say, oh, just screw it. I'm going back into the water. Who needs this? I don't want to even, risk it or deal with any risks of encountering this person or what's going on, or what would happen if I were captured and taken up to this place. Are they friend or foe? That kind of thing. Yeah, you know what? Toss it all. I'm just going to go back in the water. But, this guy's just looking out of the water, and, another few minutes, he's probably going to clear out of the area. And she can be free to explore and not worry about any kind of negative aspects or repercussions coming her way. And it's just kind of like her boldness and empowerment that is felt in the cards over here, and here in the freedom, the flight, what is it? Flights of fancy kind of attitude of knowing who you are and owning it. She's just kind of suppressing that. And so it's just a good reminder to open up. She's guarded. Open up like these flowers and just shine out who she really is and own her inner power and know she's going to be okay. And yes, okay, be cautious. Doesn't mean you have to be totally taking risks like this one over here is just jumping away, but it could jump right into, what do they have there? Just trying to think of what could be its enemy there. Probably man, probably gun. Just jumping into an area where somebody just shoots it without really looking or being cautious. So there's, pros and cons to just letting all, cast all caution to the wind. But there's absolutely the flip side, the positive aspect of it. And I guess what I want to say is out of this, we have all different stages of how we feel. We feel more empowered, we feel less empowered. We might take more risks, we might take less risks. And it's just tapping into our inner intuitive and innateness of who we are. So like they say, the flower doesn't think twice, it just grows. That's all it knows, is just to grow, and ever climbing, ever rising, opening up without thinking, twice, because that is who it is. It can be nothing else but what it is. And that's what, we are in all these various forms. We're embodying all different facets, like all these petals are different facets of the one thing of the, all of who we are. So let's read, though, about the turkey bush for inspiration, because I have no idea about this flower. And I'm curious as well. I don't know this book. I haven't really used these cards too much. I thought today's the day. Why not? Give me 1 second. It is alphabetical in the book, thank goodness. Oh, and I've been doing this lately. I try to bookmark, my pages here to get to it quickly, since I don't use a tripod, and it's a little trickier for me to, navigate this when I try to open a book as I'm, going through here without a tripod. But lately, I've been trying to pull, bookmark, and in this case, pardon the camera work, you have an extra little bonus card of grass tree, enlightenment, and I'm not going to go through and read the meanings of it. I'm just saying you've got a little extra card, a message, so of enlightenment. Can't speak today. All right, so let's just read. Sorry again about the camera work. This is what the book looks like, and I'm going to have to read it off camera because sometimes the focus is tricky. It goes in and out. So here we go. I'm just going to read excerpts from it. Let's see. Inspiration is all around you right now. Make sure you don't let the subtle messages pass you by. If you are finding yourself stuck in some way or on a plateau, let me get on the card here. If you are on a plateau, take a leap of faith and go for that thing that is nudging you. Your higher self is calling, and you should listen. There are fantastic opportunities for those who work in areas of creativity, but you do need to act to make it a reality. The time is right to start working on those dreams. As a challenge, Turkey Bush warns of pipe dreams hindering real progress and disconnection from your higher self. As a healer, Turkey Bush enables greater creative expression and is a creative block mover. Ooh, that sounds very good. How many of us have, creative blocks at one point or another? So, I think, let's just see. There was something in here that reminded me. Yeah, I think the main message here is to make sure you are, staying connected with your inner and higher self. And so that, it's part of the staying optimistic too. And that you don't quit right before. So whatever phase of beingness you are in, whether you're feeling empowered or just kind of, blissfully flaky, it can be a good thing to be blissfully unaware. And also to maybe be a little bit cautious, but also, creativity longs for, ever expansion and opening up, so it's just, I guess the message here is to stay inspired, keeping that kind of empowered and emboldenment, kind of spirit, so that you don't like hold back too much, and that you have the perseverance and motivation, inspiration required to keep going, right? And just kind of, this is kangaroo's like hopping off the page into who knows where, right? But we can sense that this field is probably quite expansive, and with beautiful things happening on the horizon. So anyway, I think I'll just close with that for now. Hopefully something in there worked for you. I'm not quite sure where all of it was going, but it is where it went. At the very end of this, I forgot to mention the intro. If we have time, I will also pull one bonus card from a variety of other decks I have off to the side. All right, so now we're going to go to group 2. Group 2, we have the Caribbean calcite, and the card that you have is number 49. I think that's a 13, or number 4 is detox. And it looks like a very specific kind of detox. They've got that martini glass there, so it's implying maybe alcoholism, other types of addictions. If we really want to go there, we can talk about the grass, if you know what I mean, in quotes, as being another type of addiction, maybe for some. But the point here is what I'm looking at is more of also it's kind of got the remedy and the kind of the vice in the same image. So it might be a call for ditching the unhealthy things and going for the healthy ones. So the clue here to the remedy is this. So it might be green juicing, it might be replacing whatever that liquid is with healthier things like water, again the green juicing, other forms of things, and maybe if you drink a lot of water and keep your body hydrated that way, it will not crave some of the other properties as much. But let's see where this is all going. So we've got detox, and then I like the kind of alliteration, but toward the end. I don't know if there's a name for that when it comes at the end. Yeah, just rhyming, I guess. We got detox and then fox, and this says shadow work, and it says there are no shadows without light. Okay, so it's talking about the duality, where we won't even be able to recognize what our vices or shadows are if we don't have the contrast in our lives. So I'm not saying that everyone should go run out and get addicted so that you know the difference, but there are many types of shadows. There's also self-talk that can go awry, that becomes very self-punishing, and those kind of thoughts, the monkey mind, squirrel mind, where things just run around and around, make things appear darker, like in the background, than they really are. The fox is sitting in the light. But things feel like darkness is surrounding it, and that may drive people to go to other means to try to escape it, right? But the point is, no, own it, be in it, stand in it strong. It might not feel great, it might feel like you're a little isolated and alone, a little kind of worried about it, but that is the inside work, and sometimes we do have to hit that all encompassing low. Like they say, you got to hit bottom to start looking inward and start doing the work. And it may not be easy, it may seem slow, like winter can seem never ending, but the light always does come out in the end afterward. Now let's see, yeah, and then we have, I'm going to jump out of order here. So then we have the card persistence, the cattle bush, which I will read from the book also, because I don't know anything about these Australian flowers and plants, at least most of them, and so I'm learning along with you on this reading. So that's a very pretty image. And then the last card here I did pull from also the what is it, Magical Mermaids and Dolphins deck, because of the water element. And this is actually the cover of the box of the cards, and this says Divine Magic, and it says extra magical energy surrounds your situation right now. Expect miracles. And that's true if we skip ahead to tomorrow. I know this is showing the moon, but look into the cosmic power that we also have in support of what we might be going through. There's the energies of the moon. A lot of people resonate with that. I personally don't. I'm more like, I click with the sun and resonate with the sun, and I have very, like, a high detachment with the moon energies, but there's some clear reasons, but I'm not going to get into it now. But the point is that no matter what you look to, or whatever you sense internally as being an extra kind of enhancer or empowerer, or maybe sometimes you feel like it drains you, but in this case it's just saying expect miracles. And there's really good energy supposedly coming in tomorrow with the solar eclipse, solar energies. And so just a reminder that magic comes from within and our abilities, and also when we get activated, or things come from the celestial realms, other realms too. that allow, to move through us and either do healing or, just sometimes when we're at our lowest low, maybe you're, on your knees and you don't know how you're going to get out of a certain kind of addiction or just a depression. Just remember there's that wild card, pun intended, of, that extra factor when you truly surrender, like when you're on your knees moment and just you can't go on anymore. That's usually the time where then you're offering up zero resistance, so the divine magic can come in and help heal you or help get you the motivation you need to, just take one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other, as you do this shadow work, so that you can find, greener pastures ahead, right? So that's kind of all I want to say about this right now, but I will, as I said, I would like to read about the cattle bush, so give me a moment. As I told group 1, I think I told you in the intro too, I don't have the tripod, so I'm trying to open the book. Sorry if I don't want to make you motion sick here with the camera, but trying to multitask. It's a little tricky here, depending on how stiff the book is too. Oh, and like I said, I lately, as I read the passages from the companion books or excerpts from it, I try to give you a bookmark, just randomly pulling from the deck, and I'm not going to go into detail, but you have crow's foot and rebirth, so that might be a little extra message somebody needs to hear as a part of this pile. And actually it goes very well with the meaning and the theme of this. Once you can do the shadow work and you move through what you need to move through, there no shortcuts with that. You try to do some shortcuts, you're going to be right back down on the ground again and looking up and wondering how you can get out of something. So I lost my pointer. Okay, so anyway, that extra card rebirth is very apropos because, if you can do the shadow work and you can believe and expect miracles, you have every chance at having a bright new beginning and a rebirth. Okay, and those energies to take over instead of kind of you feeling literally like on the rocks, right? With the imagery and that alcohol reference. Okay, so let's read Cattle Bush. This is what the book kind of looks like, and I'll try to stay hovering over the card. Again, my disclaimer if I wander as I read off camera here, so that the camera doesn't go in and out of focus. So Cattle Bush, persistence. I'm just going to read part of this. Your persistence will be rewarded. Look at what you can let go of and what is truly worthwhile. Now is the time to sort these matters out and focus with a new determination. Progression is indicated if you have felt like you have been on a plateau. Keep going, as your tenacity will be worthwhile. Don't give up is the clear message of Cattlebush. The challenge of Cattlebush is in being too stubborn and not letting go when you need to. It is also in giving up too soon, usually when you are close to your goal but just can't see it. As a healer, Cattlebush supports those who feel weary and worn out. It is a wonderful energy booster. Well, look at that card. It is totally apropos not only to this group 2, but also to group 1, because we have a similar, or actually same message there. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. So if you only selected group 2, I highly recommend you take a look at group 1, because they are definitely integral, like interlinked, interwoven there, the message. Okay, I think, okay, let's keep going. So now I think we'll just go ahead and get started with group 3. Okay, group 3, this card has come out yet once again. It seems like no matter what I do, this card wants to pop out from this deck. And this is the Answer is Simple deck. So this is number 55, or a 10, or a 1. It says, thank God, and 5s are the number of change. If you look at 10, it's kind of, it can be looked at as kind of on the cusp or in between the beginning and the end, or rather the end and a new beginning with the 1s and the 0s. But anyway, we've got thank God. And this is the kind of desert island scene with the galleon ship off in the distance. And we've got this man who clearly looks like stranded and pleading for help, looking to God. He's in the prayer position. As I've said before, even the prayer position of the hands, putting them together like this, forms a point, which is like an antenna up to God and a way to receive. He's got the pointy hat also, echoing, reinforcing that reference that, he's got something that can send out thought, but also maybe, receive it in. He's on his knees, showing what level of desperation or eagerness, to be rescued. However, he does have the ingenuity. He does have power within and of himself, in that he knows to, has the wherewithal to create a fire for a distress signal, right? But let's see where all of this is going, because that's not quite enough, other than, of course, saying have gratitude, in this time. We also have a nice little picturesque scene here of a trail of ants carrying leaves. Leaf cutter ant, army of life. Ask for help, seek support. You are not alone. Okay, so wow, got already that reinforcing some of the energies that this person is not, trying to do it alone. He is praying. He's asking for help, and it looks like the call is being answered. Hopefully those are friendlies coming to pick him up. And over here, I would just say to ask and seek support. Yes. However, make sure you really vet what kind of support you're looking to. Don't just randomly go anywhere for anything. Don't be like, one of these ants. They've got to really trust the leader that it's not going to just, I know it can't quite do this, I don't think, but like walk right off a cliff, right? And then everybody's going to follow. So you got to have absolute confidence and faith. I guess that's a re-emphasis on the faith part. And who or what you are following or what you're believing in. But it also shows that, yes, absolutely, these beings, work with the whole spirit of cooperation and definitely help each other. And even though they have strength to lift probably this leaf on their own, I forget how much strength, if it's more than 5 times the body weight. I can't remember. Don't quote me on that. Look it up. But even though, each individual ant has like the strength of thousands, if you know, just kind of as a little loose expression, it's got the strength of thousands metaphorically, and could do it on its own. There's a real benefit, though. You don't have to do the heavy lifting all the time by yourself. There might be that 1 millisecond or day or month where you just really need to lean on others to help you out. And why not? They're there and available in the community, whether you're really close to them or you vaguely know about them. Just get on your knees and pray sometimes. Like if there's nobody on your path to help and you feel desolate, you might want to just pray it out and just say, hey God, send me the right people, places, and things on my path. I'm looking all around, I don't see anybody in sight, and I could use some help, somebody to turn to. And then you look for it in prayer, and sure enough, you're going to be sent some messages, some little signs, and keep your eyes open and be looking for them, on the lookout. He can't just light the fire and walk back into the tropical jungle, and then just expect that the ship will come and hang around, wait for him to come out. They might not even know he's there. You got to also, commit, to you light the signal. What is it in the 1920s book called The Game of Life and How to Play It? Florence Scovel-Shinn, supposedly a metaphysical teacher there, she writes in her book, I'm going to loosely paraphrase, she just said that, prayer is our calling to God, and our intuition, is God talking back to us. So the intuition is, and the intuition and the signs, little signs here and there, is God answering that call or that prayer. So we got to, be on the lookout, not, turn a blind eye to when we might be getting the answers via signs and intuition, right? Okay, then we have, you got 2 cards. The other groups only had 1 from this deck. We have morning affirmations, and we have set your sights higher. So the messages below on morning affirmations is say positive affirmations each morning to open the gates of manifestation. I'm going to say yes and no to that, and I'll tell you why in a minute. And then also we have set your sights higher. And what is she reaching for? Oh, she's reaching for like a Merkaba. And let's see. And then this says increase. Oh, sorry, the light is blinding me off to the side. Increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. Okay. Let's see what we want to make out of this. So the reason why I was saying yes and no and saying positive affirmations each morning is I would say more than that is more like just thanking for all the blessings each morning. Like thank you, thank you, thank you, especially 3 times. And then you can just start to say what you're thankful for. And because in this world of a manifestation, I think, the way it's being taught in a lot of circles out there, let me just say, it has not worked for me. And I've been at this quite a while. Because it's a yes and no, because it depends on what frequency you're at and what frequency the world is at around us as well. And there needs to be some compatibility there. And there has to be signals, the ability of our signals to come up and back, through the ether. And there's some blockages right now, from my understanding or understanding, with the earth and what signals can get out or not. But even so, if it works for you, great. I'm just putting a huge cautionary flag on there, and just say too, don't get hung up in manifestation. If you I heard an example, I'm going to exaggerate it, but I heard an example somewhere where they're saying, yeah, you can ask and manifest all you want, but you're not going to be able to manifest that you're 2 feet taller than you biologically are, and other stuff, even though you really want to be. So there are limitations on this, and I wouldn't put all my eggs in one basket on the manifestation, or the affirmation, aspect, and the manifestation. But again, affirmations, if they're linked with gratitude and thanking, to me, I find that more effective and more powerful. Perhaps you have a different story. Feel free to mention it in the comments below, if YouTube won't censor it down there, if you wish, or shoot me an email if you like. Okay, set your sights higher, and it's like she's reaching for the stars, and increase your standards and expect more for yourself. Don't settle. So I guess that doesn't, to me, tie too much into the reading, other than when you do seek help, make sure it's of the highest order. Everyone's reaching and going to the highest source, and that it isn't just, oh, I'll take this help because, well, here's an example. I don't have the money for that, so I'm not gonna, go get the help if I have to pay somebody. If it's really the right match, and you should go to it, and you're feeling you'd like to go to a certain professional, but you're looking at the bank account and not seeing it there, don't let that daunt you. In this case, yeah, you can make affirmations in a way to manifest it. You can just say, in prayer, hey God, I know I am worth it, and this is who I need. Show me the way, show me the way. And like she's being led by a guiding light here, to make that happen, or let the miracles come in and I can go, or show me an equal or better, solution than this one person I have my sights set on for help, right? And again, going back to the little prayer here, kindly show me. I think that's a very powerful opening little phrase. Kindly show me all the right people, places, and things on my path, so that I can achieve, whatever it is you're looking for over here. Okay, now we have emu bush and partnership, which reemphasizes that we're not necessarily looking at romantic partnership, although that could enter in as well. We've got nice pinks, representing the heart space, heart chakra. So that's a possibility, but I think for the most part, it's just reinforcing that there's not just one bloom on the tree. There are going to be many, many blooms around the bush. The way things are set up, nature is set up, is to work in collaboration, like we've got the ants, but also, blooms. It's not just meant to be one and that's it. I mean, perhaps there is one plant out there that does that, but for the most part, the plants and trees are all about abundance, all about continuous blooming and blooming in cycles, and that they always provide, right? So, and again, for here, it's like maybe having the don't settle, just know that there's enough out there for everybody. There's no lack in the universe. It's abundant, and know that whatever you are seeking, you will get it. It might take a little patience, like in the first group, we kind of had a little bit of a patience energy there, but it's there, and it's waiting, and it's accessible. She's reaching up, she's got it in her hand. All right, so let's read from the book now about the emu bush, because I have really no idea about what that is. And let's see, again, bear with me. I'm doing this with one hand, and the book is a little stiff, so pardon me if the camera wanders around. Okay, here's a little preview. It's a black and white image in the book. Give me a moment. I have to flip this over. And also, I've been doing lately, I've been trying here where I put a bookmark. I just grab another card from the deck randomly, and you get a little bonus message. So this is from the tea tree, and it says attainment. So it's kind of funny. It does work with our group here as far as attainment. You reach for it, you will attain it. You have your mind set on gratitude and being thankful for all the things you do have, and that makes way for more things to come into your life. So let's read this here. I have to read it off camera, otherwise the camera will go in and out of focus funny. So we have emu bush partnership, a shrub. Oh, actually that tells the details of it. I'm not going to do that, but It's found throughout inland Australia. So I'm just going to read the other message. Emu bush speaks of partnerships, and this includes joint ventures in business as well as romantic commitments. The energy of this flower is very strongly aligned with entities working together, moving in the same direction to achieve positive outcomes. Look at the alliances you currently have, the partnerships you enjoy, and ensure that the dealings are fair and in balance. Emu bush does signal new partnerships and groups forming, as well as highlighting the possible benefits of mentorship. The challenge of emu bush is that of deceptions, sabotage, and misunderstandings with alliances. There's a particular focus on gossip and on untruths being uncovered. As a healer, emu bush enables things to run smoothly. It opens the way for actions to occur without hindrance while supporting easy flowing communication. Okay. So I think that just, reemphasizes all the different types of partnerships. And I think, another key little phrase in there is moving in a flow together. So, if you're going to work on a team, you don't have, everyone going this way, but one trying to go against the grain. You got to all cooperate and move together, right? Otherwise, if you're not going to do that, you're going to end up like over here, which is fine. Let them all go off in one direction then, and then just say, okay, I'm not going to be a part of that team. I'm going to head off in my own direction, unless this one is collaborating and working and saying, I'll be the lookout for any danger coming up from behind. But in this card, it was all about, stepping away from the herd, the crowd. Okay, that's it for now. I'm going to read actually one more bonus out of this Australian, wildflower reading cards, just because it caught my attention. And I just posted things about fairies and a link to my show number 177 called Sky Mysteries. The intro on that is where I've analyzed detailed analysis in the way that I do with it digitally. Just taking the existing photos or images, and enhancement just means, keeping it raw, but just the image raw, but just upping and lowering things like contrast, saturation, color saturation, things like that, just to draw out extra things happening, in the photos. And that's amazing, incredible, clear evidence of an actual fairy. And I credit YouTube channel Sugar Seas, because she found the video footage. If you go over to her link, which I put in there, then you see, if it's still up, hopefully, actual video footage of this fairy flying around at the entrance of a cave in Greece. All right, so I highly recommend that. So anyway, all that to say, that has just been very much on my mind lately, something about the fairies. Sorry for the camera work here. I'm not really trying hard today. Here we go. But anyway, as I was looking through the book to bookmark it, fairy aprons came up, so I'm going to read that. It says guidance. So this is one more bonus for everybody, I'll just say. So fairy aprons. And actually, while we're here and I'm learning about these flowers along with you, let me just read a little excerpt from the book. And actually, I'm just going to focus down here for a minute. Okay, so the energy surrounding fairy aprons is guidance, especially that connected with your intuition and divinity. You know what is right for you now. You have the answer within. You need to listen to your inner self, to your guides, and trust that you are being directed towards what is right for you. Nature will support you if you believe and connect deeply. Sorry, I have a little distraction here outside. Okay. Ask, and the answers will come. The light will shine again. The challenge associated with fairy aprons is trickery. Be very careful of secrets that you have been entrusted with, and be aware that others may or may not be sharing theirs. As a healer, fairy apron supports meditation, self-healing practice, and for strengthening intuition. Okay, that's just a little bonus message. I'm not going to go into it further. You'll know if something jumped out at you or not in there. So now I'm going to zoom back out, and now I am going to do a little bonus, extra bonus round other than the little bookmarks. One card each for each of the groups. All right, so I've got 3 different decks over here, and I'm just going to, pull the cards out and do a messy little scramble. I think what we'll do, let me just look to see who should get which message. Okay, I got it. I think I have it. Yes. Okay. All right, group 1, we're going to do this particular deck, and again, I'll list it in the description area below. And I'm going just with this one. So your extra messages: trust. Am I honoring my knowing? And we have the white-tailed deer. All right. And I'm not going to take it further. We're going to just take these cards as face value as I can. So remember your message from the first group, and this is just trust. Are you honoring your knowing? And I would just say, your inner knowing. Okay? That's group 1. Group 2, we will do this one. Okay? And these don't spread so easily, but we'll just go with this. And this is number 44, 8, returning home, transition, life between lifetimes, loving welcome. So I'm just going to keep it there. Maybe that means something to you. It's a beautiful card. So returning home, a loving welcome. And I would just say in relation to your pile that this is just kind of a little, punctuation at the end of the sentence, letting you know you're not alone in your efforts to detox. Okay, and there are magical things happening behind the scenes and in front of you as you go through it. You're not alone. All right, then we're going to go to group 3. And let's see what we have out of this group. I don't know where I want to stop. It's not really spreading. We'll go with this. Why not? Okay, you have the Dreamer, or 0. And I'm not going to really reference the archangel there because I have since learned that that's a fallen angel, depending on what timeline you're on or what phase of let's see what part of a timeline you are looking at. Apparently that one did have a fall, so you got to be careful when you're channeling and things, which version of which of these things are you channeling, and make sure they're the positive and good ones, offering upliftment and not trickery and deception. Okay, so that's just my understanding on it. This one says, a leap of faith, follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. So that's a little golden opportunity card, that looks like coming your way, right? Okay, I'm not going to tie it into your group. I think that just, pretty much standalone, speaks for itself. Don't be, afraid to take a leap on some things, and listen to your intuition as always. And just remember, there are always a chance of unexpected opportunities, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it, right? Or we can't quite see it, if it's just beyond our physical sight. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, that's it for now. I wish all of you tremendous peace and love. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.